Well, we're approaching Memphis, Tennessee again. You know, in one of last week's videos, we crossed the Mississippi River into Memphis on the I-55 bridge, which is a bit south of here. This is the I-40 bridge. And as I mentioned last week, you know, for a few months last year, they had this bridge totally shut down because they found a big crack in one of the beams. So that was kind of troublesome for traffic. But this gives you a shot of, you know, you got the, over to the right, you can see the Memphis downtown skyscraper area, and then over to the left you might can see the Pyramid building, which is now a Bass Pro Shop. I think Hotel Bass Pro Shop. I don't know, I've never been in there. When it was first built, it was a basketball arena, as I remember. Here's the sign, Tennessee welcomes you. Just giving you a little shot of the bridge and heading into Memphis. Memphis, Tennessee. You know, in my younger days, I dated a girl from Memphis. My friends called her the nympho from Memphis. Oh, mercy. And there's the famous St. Jude Children's Research Hospital right ahead there. So, all right. Well, I guess that's it for now. All right. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. I just came around Lexington, Kentucky. Been driving for about 2.5 hours. Sun's coming up. Thought I'd give you a shot of that. Some pink sky up ahead. I just hit 64 East, kind of on the eastern side of Lexington, Kentucky. Headed to Fairmont, West Virginia. Still got about a little over 5 hours of drive time to go. I spent the night, I forget the name of the town. There was a pilot there on 65 in Kentucky. Somewhere just south of where you, before you get onto the Kentucky Parkway, they're cutting across to the east. Really pretty country over here, you know, a lot of distilleries, horse country, really beautiful country. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a little early morning road footage. I'll give you some more later. Okay, folks. Well, still in Kentucky, barely. But I was on 64 heading east, and they closed down the road. I don't know if it was road construction or an accident, but they forced everyone off 64, and we're having to take a detour that looks like it's probably about 13 miles off of 64. One of the other truckers on the CB, just, I guess he's familiar with this area, said that we'll kind of loop back around and get on 64 here at some point. So, having a little detour. I'm still 30 minutes away from my customer, it says. Just thought I'd give you a little footage. Eastern Kentucky footage. Alright, more later. Man, that was a crappy detour. That took about, I don't know, took us about 26 miles off route in about 40 minutes. Hey! But as you can see, here's the sign crossing into West Virginia. Welcome to West Virginia, wild and wonderful. Well, there you go. Now we get into the hills. Alright, I'm going to keep driving, try to make up some time. Well, guys, still in West Virginia, about 2 hours from my customer in Fairmont, West Virginia. But they just sent me a pre-plan, so I thought I would tell you about that. It's picking up about an hour away from my customer in Buchanan, West Virginia, at a Weyerhaeuser plant that I've been to a couple of times, I think, picking up what it calls engineered beams, I think it said, going to somewhere in New Jersey, if I heard it right. You know, it's hard to understand the computer voice when, you know, you're just listening to those instructions, because, you know, she just reads out the letter sometimes instead of pronouncing the words. But anyway, that's what I think is supposed to happen. So that'll be different. I don't think I've ever been to New Jersey. So that'll put me in New Jersey on Wednesday. It's not a long trip. I think it said from the shipper it's about 300 and something miles. You know, so it'll be, you know, probably be a 6 or 7 hour drive, depending on traffic. I don't know, today has been pretty lousy traffic because I had to take that detour that took about 40 minutes. And then there's been a lot of road construction since then, you know, slowing things down. Plus, this is slow driving anyway in West Virginia. As you can see, you know, you're up and down hills. So, in fact, I've only got about 20 extra minutes on my clock before I have to take a. Well, let me correct that. I've got, my GPS says I'm about 1 hour and 55 minutes from my customer, and I've got 2 hours and 15 minutes of drive time before I have to take my 30-minute break to get the rest of my clock time. So I hope I don't hit any more serious slowdowns, or I might have to stop and take my 30-minute break before I get to my customer. Anyway, that's what's going on. More later. Okay, folks, so here we are in Fairmont, West Virginia. About a half a mile from my customer, Novelis. You know, we deliver a lot of stuff to Novelis in Terre Haute, Indiana, which I was at a couple of weeks ago. And the guy that unloaded me up there, Jay, sent me a message later after he saw my video correcting me. that it's not pronounced novelist, it's novellus. So, thank you, Jay, for that correction. So we're approaching the entry to this place. I think this may be it right here. No, a little further. I think this is their parking lot here on the left. As I remember, you pull in and then they have a check-in gate just to the right. All right, I think this is it. Yeah, Novelist, Fairmont. So there's just enough room to pull off the road and then you stop and check in. Okay. There's your shot of it. What? All right, so let me stop here and check in. Okay guys, so I got checked in. You know, you have to sign a couple of papers about safety and COVID, and then he tells you to come down here and make a big U-turn. And then I'll show you where you're supposed to park. Luckily there's no other trucks here. Man, I only had about 10 minutes left on my drive clock when I pulled in here. Alright, so once we pull back up this hill, they've got a slanted parking spot here. This door here to the left, E door, is where we'll be backing into, but I'm supposed to park here in this little lane here. You can't really see, but it's got some old painted yellow lines here. So I'm going to get lined up a little bit in there. And then I'm supposed to put on my safety gear and walk in with my paperwork, check in. Then come back out and start untarping, unsecuring. So let me get that done. Okay guys, I've checked in inside there. Just a quick shot to remind you what I'm carrying. I got 2 aluminum coils here, loaded shotgun. So I'm gonna take the tarp off, and I think it's got a canvas tarp over it too, and then get all but I'll probably leave minimum securements on and then back into dock E. So let me get that done. All right guys, so I got my big tarp laid out here on the driveway since I have plenty of room. There's how she looks right now. But I wanted to show you, I couldn't really see it till I got the tarp off the product, but I had some repair tape on here, or previously it had been put on and it was coming off. So I put some new pieces of repair tape on there because there's a big rip under there, of course. So got that fixed because I think they're on a shift change here anyway for about the next 20 minutes. So, you know, I got time. Okay guys, so I'm backed in here. Let me show you what I got. Here's where I backed into. Nobody has come to unload yet, but somebody is working the crane, so hopefully they'll be here in a minute. So there was 2 cross chains on each coil, 2 straps over, and a trip chain in front of each. So whoever secured this load did a good job. Each coil weighed about I don't know, 23,000 pounds. So that's what she looks like. You know, he's got a cradle built for each coil with 3 coil racks. 3 coil racks, 2 pads, and a skid mat. All right. That's all good. So this will be a pretty quick unload once somebody gets over here. And then I was just plotting my course to my next assignment in Buchanan, West Virginia. Let's go take a look at that. So let's take a look. Oh boy, there's hardly any room to climb in here. All right, let's turn on some lights here. It's a little over an hour, GPS says, to get to Buchanan, the Weyerhaeuser plant. So I'll try to show you some footage there. All right, guys. Well, I'm finally done. It's 4 o'clock. What time did I get here? It was right around 2 o'clock, I think. That was kind of slow. There's another guy, an independent trucker back there, picking up a couple of coils, going to the Novellis in Terre Haute, which I was at a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going now to Buchanan, West Virginia, which is just a little over an hour's drive. And that load, once I get the road, hit on the road from picking it up, goes to Cedar. Oh gosh, what's the name of that place? Cedar Brook, New Jersey. So I'll see you in Buchanan.